Good evening, hello, and welcome to the latest episode of Maniac Red Devils. Before we start with today's show, I would like to request you to please like and share our videos, subscribe to our channel so that we can make more of such videos in the future. Today, we will look at 5 summer signings that can completely transform Manchester United. United, of course, has had a terrible season, and there's supposed to be a lot of outgoings in the next window, including the ones that are out of contract. So, 5 signings may not seem enough to change the club's fortunes, but we all know any more than that may not be feasible. So, we have tried to identify the most pressing areas which we need to address ASAP. Now, reports have suggested that United have sanctioned a war chest of £120 million for the summer, with the revenue generated in player sales also to be added in the transfer kitty. If we can sell the likes of Henderson, Pereira, Jones, and Bailly, in addition to that, we can easily generate a further £50 million, which makes our summer transfer budget a whopping £170 million. Now, with that in mind, let's look at the possible transfers that can help change the club's fortunes. So, let's start with midfield. For me, this is where games are won and lost, and our midfield have been dominated by most oppositions that we have played against, and we have barely had any control of midfield, barring a few handful of games. Now, with Pogba and Matic leaving as well, we cannot really rely on McFred for a whole season, so we need at least 2 signings in midfield. I have picked these 3 midfielders to choose from. First up is Konrad Leimer, 24 years of age, plays for RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga and is Austrian. We can definitely use the contacts of Ralf Rangnick to sign him up. He's got just 1 year left in his contract, so would be available for a maximum of £20 million. Bayern wants him as well, but Leipzig do not want to sell him to Bayern. Very modern midfielder, absolute pressing monster, should be in the transfer list for United. Moving on. Next on my list of midfielders is another product of the Red Bull Group, Mohamed Kamara from Salzburg. This Malian midfielder has got a great engine, an absolute powerhouse, good at passing the ball, good at dribbling, great at winning tackles. He's a completely balanced midfielder, so he is definitely on the top of my list. Next up on my list is Ibrahim Sangare from PSV Eindhoven. I would guess Ten Hag must know a lot about him, having been in the same league. He's slightly more defensive minded than Kamara, but that in no way means he doesn't contribute in the attack as well. He has a staggering passing accuracy of 86%, good at dribbling, and wins a lot of his ground and aerial duels. Out of these 3, my pick would be Leimer and Kamara, but if we go and get Frankie de Jong, who we have been linked with quite a lot, then my choice would be to get Sangare alongside him, who can be the perfect foil for someone like De Jong to control games in midfield. Now, moving on to defenders. United have let in 57 goals in this league campaign alone, with Maguire and Lindelof having a torrid season and Varane struggling with his fair share of injuries. So a new signing at centre back is a must. Plus there may be other outgoings in the position in the form of Jones and Bailly, which makes it absolutely mandatory to invest in a central defender. The first name on my list is this 24-year-old Argentine defender from Ajax, Lisandro Martinez. If we can get Varane fit for most of the games next season, I think he can be the ideal defender to play alongside Varane, with Varane playing as the right-sided centre-back. He's got a good left peg, good in the air, good in passing the ball from the back, and even likes to dribble past defenders as well if needed. Next on my list is his defensive partner from Ajax, the 20-year-old Dutch youngster Jurien Timber. Erik Ten Hag has often spoken glowingly of him and sees him as a potential future captain, so I need not say more about him. Moving on to my next target is Eintracht Frankfurt defender from France, Ivan Ndika. Comfortable with the ball, feisty defender, good at winning both the ground and aerial duels. The best part of all these defenders is that they come cheap, and I don't think any of them costs any more than £30 million. Now moving on to the set of forwards, We have also struggled due to the lack of a proper forward other than Ronaldo in the latter half of the season. Martial was loaned out, Greenwood was out, Cavani was always injured, and Rashford was dreadful. Therefore, Ralph Ragnick had to rely heavily on a young Anthony Elanga, which cost us dear. A forward signing is therefore a must for next season. And first up on my list of forwards is 24-year-old French attacker from Leipzig, Christopher Nkunku. Another product of the Red Bull Group, Ralph Ragnick has often spoken glowingly of him, had a staggering season with 20 goals and 13 assists in the league, great at dribbling past defenders as well, and surely one for the future. Next up is another player who Ten Hag has already coached at Ajax and have spoken well of him in the recent past. It's Anthony from Brazil, the 22-year-old attacker. He's an absolute baller and is the perfect solution to our right wing woes. Puts in crosses in the box, which can be really useful with someone like Ronaldo in the box, full of skills, dribbles past defenders at ease. Both would cost around 60 million pounds. Either one can do the job for us, but this is 60 million pounds worth investing. Moving on, there have been recent reports that United would like to sell Aaron Van Bissaka and Williams both, which leaves Dalot as the only established right back in the squad. There is of course Laird who can come back from his loan spell, but given the lack of quality and depth in the position, it would be wise to invest in one in the summer. My first pick for this position is Tariq Lamptey from Brighton. He has got pace to burn, runs past opposition at ease, and is sure to provide much more attacking output than we have had from that position in the recent years. Defensively solid as well, he would cost somewhere around north of 30 million pounds, which given his age would be an absolute bargain. Another option for the right back position is Jed Spence from Middlesbrough, currently on loan at Nottingham Forest, just 21 years of age, British, great going forward and putting across in the box, would come cheap as well, somewhere around 15 million pounds. So this is my final list of 5 summer signings. Number 1 is Conrad Laimer for 20 million pounds. Next up is Ibrahim Sangare for 25 million pounds. Third on this list is Lisandro Martinez from Ajax for 27 million pounds. Next is Christopher Nkunku for around 63 million pounds from RB Leipzig. And fifth on this list is Tariq Lamptey from Brighton and Hove Albion for 35 million pounds. A total cost of around 170 million in transfer fees, which seems like perfectly doable. That's it for today's video, but before going, I'd like to mention a couple of dark horse signings which can prove to be excellent in the future. First up is one for the right back position, 24-year-old Pablo Maffio, who's on loan at RCD Mallorca from Stuttgart. This Spanish fullback is great at getting crosses in the box and can prove to be a very smart acquisition. The other dark horse buy would be for the forward position, 23-year-old Italian forward Gianluca Scamacca from Sassuolo. Prolific goal scorer, great agility, good in aerial duels, scored 16 goals in the league last season, definitely one to watch out for in the future. That's it guys. If you liked my video, please like and share it. Subscribe to the channel for more of these videos throughout the summer window. If you have got any suggestions, please drop it in the comment section. Thank you and goodbye.